Hello you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Dana Ray here, back with another video. Thank you guys for your support on my channel. Thank you guys for watching, subscribing, liking, and sharing. Today, once again, I didn't plan on recording today. I'm only here because there were a lot of things that were kind of going through my head when I was doing my workout earlier this morning. And sometimes when I feel like I can't say everything that I want to say on social media or that I need to say on social media, I'll know that that's a sign for me to record a video about it. So I hope you guys can't hear all that thumping in the background. If you do, I'm sorry, I got my windows open. So today I want to talk about shame. I want to talk about how shame and condemnation is a trick of the enemy to keep us in the wilderness season. So life is a combination of seasons that we go through. Everyone is going to go through certain seasons in their life. Seasons are things that pass. It's not a situation where you are supposed to live in forever, especially if you're talking about a season of wilderness. A season of wilderness is mostly described by a time where the Lord uses a bad situation or something that may have affected you very negatively to bring you to him, to show you who he is, so that you will be able to obtain and steward the promises that he has for you on the other side of your wilderness season. What I have seen and even experienced for most of my life until now is that a lot of us get stuck in the wilderness seasoning. In the wilderness seasoning. I'm thinking about food. I need to eat a little bit. But we get stuck in the wilderness season in cycles of going back and forth, and these things that we hold on, let me go close this window because I know this is really loud. Okay, I'm back. But in cycles of these very similar, like bad situations, bad relationships, bad things that we perceive as bad things continuing to happen to us. Like the phrase that goes around that it's always something. It's really not. And it's really not, that's really not how God intended for us to live our lives, that it's always something. Because that's not a place of peace. That means that when you get in a good situation or when you get to the promised land, that you're always going to be looking for something negative to come at some point after that. And if you're always anticipating something negative coming into your life, then you cannot fully enjoy the promise. You cannot fully enjoy like the good things that God really has for you, because you're not there, because you're always thinking that something bad is about to happen. And I'm making this video because I lived my life this way. Like I had nothing to look forward to, because even when good things would happen in my life, I always felt like something bad was going to come up after that. But that is condemnation. That is shame. That is a tactic of the enemy to keep us bound. That is bondage. If the Bible says that God desires to give us a life of abundance, exceedingly abundantly above all that we could ask or imagine, if that's what God says, and that's not the life that we have, then something is wrong there. There's something there that is keeping us from getting the life that God has for us, and that is the enemy. And he uses our past, our guilt, our shame against us so that we'll never get to the place that God has for us. And then even if we do get there, or when we do get there, we're not able to enjoy it or steward it properly because we haven't come to a place of wholeness within ourselves and not thinking and knowing that God is a good God. He desires nothing evil or bad to happen to us. Everything works out for the good of us who love him, who are called according to his purpose, who are walking in his way, in his obedience, and his plan. So there's nothing to always be worrying about or fearing or thinking that we deserve something bad. Like, no, that is not how life is supposed to be lived. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, life is not easy. That's true. Yes, there's always something going on in the world. That's true. But those things that are going on in the world should not be affecting your peace and your joy and your abundance in your life. It should not affect your mind. That means that you don't have the peace of the Lord. And that's what he is here for, to give us peace, to give us joy, to give us prosperity. Even in the midst of the worst thing that could ever happen in your life, God will give you peace. And I realized after being in a place of peace, after knowing what the peace of the Lord feels like, there are many of us who do not know what it is to live a life of peace. We are constantly like trying to find ways to get this peace, this self-love, this calmness within us so that we can live the life that God promised us. But it's not in any of these things that we continually to work for. You do not have to work for the peace of God. You just have to surrender your control. Okay? We do not have control of the things that happen outside of us. The only thing that we could ever control is how we respond to it, how we allow it to affect us. We cannot control other people. We cannot control what they do to us, what they have done to us in the past, what people may do to us in the future. We cannot control what happens to people who are not us. So why do we get so worked up and so much anxiety, so much, all this stuff inside of us that we can that we cannot do anything about? Why do we take on all these emotions, all these things of other people? That is not how the Lord desires us to live. We continue to want to change everybody outside of us so that then we can have peace. That is not how it works, because we cannot change anything outside of us. We cannot change people. I don't care if it's your child. You cannot change your child. You cannot change your husband. You cannot change your wife. You cannot change your baby mama. You cannot change your friends. The only person that you can control is you and how you allow all those people to affect you. And until you come to terms and understand and know that you don't have that kind of power, you will always live in bondage. Bondage meaning you will never have peace because your internal emotions will always be swayed and affected by things and people outside of you. It is not your fault that your husband is a cheater or is abusive, or your wife is a cheater or is manipulative. That's not your fault that they are like that. So that means it's not your responsibility to fix them. That means that all you can do is pray for them. But that does not mean you stay around to try to fix them, because then you are taking on the shame, condemnation, and responsibility of another person that you cannot control. You will never control them. So you're wasting your life and your time and your peace on things and people that you cannot control. Get out of it. Let it go. Walk away and leave. I'm so tired for other people. Like, I'm fine, but it's just like people say that they want this freedom. We say that we want this peace, but we are so used to taking care of other people and so used to worrying about their peace and whether they're going to make it or not, that we sacrifice ourselves every day. Especially Black women. Why do we sacrifice ourselves at the expense of others' happiness, peace, and joy? Meanwhile, we never experience that in our own lives for ourselves. Stop it. Because you're worth more than that. If you don't have yourself together, you cannot help anybody else get themselves together. And it doesn't matter how many people around you seem to be at peace and joy and living the life that they desire if you never get to live the life that you desire. If deep inside of you, you still are full of unhappiness. If deep inside of you, you're still anxious. If deep inside of you, you still worry. What does it matter if you affected someone else's life in a positive way if your life is not what it is that you want it to be? Even though on social media, we wouldn't know that because we have a responsibility, right? To present our lives how we desire them to be, even though that's not the life we're really living. Once again, sacrificing ourselves. We have to stop. We have to stop. The whole point of therapy and healing is to get to a place where you don't have to depend on those things anymore. It's not that you're going to be in lifelong, you're supposed to be in lifelong therapy. No. It's not like, no, you're not supposed to be lifelong on a journey of healing forever. No, at some point you need to reach a point where you have known what things you are responsible for, which is you, and you have learned to give all other burdens to the Lord. Okay? Because like I said in previous videos, the Lord is the only person who's always going to be there. Therapy is not always going to be there. Your therapist is not always going to be available. So the whole idea of these things that have been placed to help us get to a place of wholeness, get to a place of peace, get to a place of joy where we can function properly as healthy, whole, and healed people. The whole purpose of the things are for us to temporarily use them to get to a place of the place where you want to be. Like when you go to a therapist, it's like, what do you want out of this? What do you want from these sessions? There has to be a goal. And it doesn't take forever to reach those goals if you are bold enough to let go of the things and the people who you cannot control. The reason why it takes people so long to heal is because it takes them long to let go. It's not about it actually taking that long. No. What are you willing to let go of so you can get to the place where you need to be, where you desire to be, where the Lord desires for you to be in your life? How long do you want to stay here? And I had to come to terms with this myself. I looked at my life. I was turning 33 and I was like, I am tired. I have spent 33 years on this cycle of me trying to control everything and everybody. And I don't even have nothing in myself to help me in this situation that I'm in. I don't even have the tools that I need. But my entire 33 years of life, I have portrayed myself to be this whole and healed person. Meanwhile, I'm the most broken person I can even think of right now. And I can't even help myself. And then I look around and there's nobody else that can even help me either. And I was like, no, I refuse. That is 33 years is enough time. However long you've lived your life trying to control things outside of you and it hasn't worked because you're still broken inside and you're still not happy and you're still not peaceful and you're still not joyful, and any little thing that happens outside of you can just throw your whole day off, your whole life off. That's not healthy. That's not whole. That's not peaceful. I don't care what they say. That's not how life is supposed to be. You've spent enough time. It's time to stop crying for other people. They have to take responsibility and fix themselves if that's what they want. If that's not what they want, then oh well. You got to worry about you. Because it's the only way you're going to change the trajectory of your generation, of the kids that you have or the people that are coming behind you. Stop allowing outside people and outside sources to sway and affect your life and your peace and your joy. Stop trying to control everything. I never thought that, first of all, I could have the life that I live now and at the same time feel how I feel on the inside. And I'm not saying that I'm never bothered, but when I am bothered, which is usually because I've spent too much time on social media, I get off because I like peace. I like feeling good about myself. I like being confident in my life, knowing that my life is not my own. It's in God's hands. I like knowing that He's going to protect me wherever I go. I like knowing that if I follow where He leads me, I'm going to be just fine. I don't care what happens outside. I care. But I don't care enough so that it affects my personal, my inside, my life. I am stable. Stable emotionally, unshaken, grounded. And I never would have been here if I didn't get through my wilderness season. All the way through it so that I can see what's on the other side. And now I'm living on the other side. And now I will never have to go through that again because I went through it all the way. Cut it all off. All people. I don't care. I was like, Lord, I don't care. I don't want to ever feel like this again. And He said I would never have to. And I want this for everybody who's watching me. I'm not just showing you my life because, oh, I'm living this fancy life. Yeah, God brought me out. Yeah, I'm showing you what the Lord has done for me so that you will be encouraged and believe that He will do it for you. Excuse me. Because He will do it for you. And I got here because God sent me to other people on YouTube who went through their wilderness the right way. And now they're living a life that I would like to have with a husband and family and children and abundance and freedom and peace. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do what they did. And what they did is went through it. And what I did is went through it, all the way through it, not putting anyone else's feelings above my own, not putting anyone else's health and healing above my own. For a period of time, until the Lord was like, okay. He literally told me in his word, my faith has made me whole. Like, just like I told y'all that he usually speaks to me in threes, he had me write 3 different Bible verses down within a couple of days that said, your faith has made you whole. I know that that was the Lord telling me that I was whole. And even when the enemy tries to come in with stuff like, oh, see, look at that. You ain't where you thought you was, blah, 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 blah. That's the enemy. That's his job. But God said, I'm whole. And that's the only thing that matters, is what God says. I'm choking now. That's the enemy because he don't want me to talk. But I'm still going to post this video. I don't care how much I can cough. But yes, you guys, whoever is watching, at some point, you have to put yourself, your health, your emotions first. You have to put you getting healthy and whole first, above every single thing that you feel like you're responsible for. Above your business, above your job, above your family, above your mate that you probably need to leave, above everything. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You've been trying it your whole life and it's not working. So that means you need to do something different. It doesn't take that long. Healing does not take that long if you do it the right way, which is God's way. When he sees your heart and sees that you are ready to stop allowing all these outside things to hinder you, then he will do it. Yes, there's some things that you have to do, but he will do it. But if he's not going to do all that work on you for you to keep going back and keep being bothered by the same things and the same people from your past. No, he's not going to waste time on when you're not ready. But what I'm saying is you should be ready, because you should be exhausted with trying to do it on your own. And you don't have to. The world says you have to do all of these things, and you do not. You just have to submit your life to God. It is that easy. I'm telling you, it is that easy. So I think that is all I have to say about this. Like, stop being exhausted. Stop being affected by these things that are happening in this world. It's only going to get worse. That doesn't mean your life gets worse. That doesn't mean you don't get the things that God has promised you because of everything happening in the world. No, it's got to happen. The Bible says it's got to happen. But it ain't supposed to be swaying you and you up and down, here today, gone today. Oh, he ain't called me today, or he cussed me out today, so now I'm having a bad day. Like, no. No. Stop caring about people who don't care about you. Be selfish. It's okay to be selfish, because it's the only way that you're going to get to the healing and the wholeness that you have to get to in order to live this life successfully the way that the Lord desires you to live it. Stop caring about people who don't care about you. And stop listening to people who care about you but don't know the right things to say. You gotta just cut out all the noise for a while so you can get to the place where God wants you to be. And for a while, I mean, it's probably gonna be for some months. You probably gonna feel lonely, whatever. I had to do it. I had to go through it, but I know I won't never have to go through that again. Never. Because once you become whole, you have the tools when things come up So you ain't, and those things are not going to affect your peace and your joy, because the peace of the Lord is something different. I'm telling you from experience. It is something, excuse me, it's something different. So thank you guys for watching. I'm trying for y'all to be free from the bondage of the things of this world, and get the life that, the life, y'all, the life. Yes, we have to suffer a little bit, but this life is not supposed to be just one of just suffering and just continuing cycles of nothingness that get us nowhere, that do not get us this joy that the Lord talks about. He talks about it, so it's real and it's available. But you got to get there, and you can't get there bringing all this stuff and all these people. No. No. I had to come to a point where I was like, if nobody comes, I'm going. If nobody supports me, I'm going. The Lord knew those people that were important, that I needed, but to support me. But even if they would have decided not to, I was going. And look. I mean, this is my life. This is my real life. This smile is my real life. I just desire you guys to feel how I feel. Have the peace of God. Know and who's really in control. And just give it over to him, and he will do it. He will give you the life that you desire, that you deserve. He will give you the life. It's not your fault, but it's your responsibility to get out of it and make sure that it doesn't happen again in your life, and that it doesn't happen again for your children. Don't keep allowing shame and condemnation to hold you back. So this video is probably all over the place, because we talked about shame, control, condemnation, other people, letting go. We talked about a lot of different things that need to be done for you to be whole, and we also talked about not depending on counseling and depending on things outside of God, because God is the only thing and the only person who's always going to be there, always. So that's who you need to depend on. That's where you need to find your healing in. Ultimately, he is the only way. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.